backup and recovery. Okay, backup and recovery. Backup and recovery, I don't want to teach you the layman term where I will say, okay, take the backup, go home, restore it, done it, do it. No, this is not the way of a production ready environment. Okay, we have to understand the base backup from the conceptual point of view. Then we will understand the backup from the modernization point of view. And then we will understand the backup from the automation point of view. Everything. Okay. Let's not just go and run some backup and done. No. So the first thing when we understand specific to related to backup, not recovery, I'm just starting the backup first and then we'll talk about the recovery. So first thing, this is going to be a core concept. So pay attention. First thing everyone should understand about cold backup and hot backup. First thing, cold means database is down and you are taking the backup. Hot backup means database is up and running and you are running the backup. Okay. First thing, consistent backup and inconsistent backup. What do you mean by consistent backup or inconsistent backup?
Consistent means the online backup which is consistent.
Mm, mm, okay. Anyone else?
Inconsistent backup means all the headers and others sync up with it. Timestamp, right?
Okay.
What is when we are restoring, no need for a recover process.
Very good. Very nice. So the best answer is consistent backup means when you are restoring the backup, 0% no recovery is required. You will simply take restore it. So cold backup is most of the time is consistent backup. Hot backups most of the time is inconsistent backup. Mean to say when we are restoring the backup, let's suppose backup 1, 2, we are restoring and we have to achieve to a specific time stamp. There are possibility either I have to run the recovery process and also apply the logs, which will be wall logs, MySQL bin logs, archive logs in Oracle and in Mongo OP logs. In SQL Server, I think you call it log only, right? So this log has to be applied and then only this recovery process will going to be complete and can start my database till up to 1 p.m. Right? But if I'm just restoring my cold backup, it does not mean that I have to go for the recovery. Only rarely, very, very rarely, in case if I have not cleaned it properly, cleaned, shutdown is not happen. In that case only, it has to go with the inconsistent mode and start the database recovery or something. Okay. In the same sequence, we have two kind of backup. Full backup and incremental backup. Right? What is full backup and incremental backup? What is a full backup and incremental backup?
It's the whole database backup, and the changes which we are referring it is incremental backup.
Okay. Okay. And under the incremental backup, we also have two kind of backup, right?
Yes, cumulative and
Cumulative,
differential.
cumulative and differential backup. Okay. So Basically, in Postgre, you can call it differential incremental backup and cumulative incremental backup. So cumulative incremental backup and differential incremental backup. Okay. So full backup, everyone understands, but cumulative and differential backup is little different. Okay. So what is cumulative backup and cumulative differential backup? Anyone?
It's changed on taking L1 cumulative backup. Whenever we are performing L1, it starts with it take the backup of last L0. And incremental will take the last L0 or L1.
So this is the best picture I have ever seen to explain this topic. Okay. So when we are running the green backup, which is cumulative backup, every time when we are running the backup from the full backup, it will capture the full cycle of the backup. Mean to say Monday, if I'm running cumulative, it will capture the Monday. If I'm running the same backup on Tuesday, it will also capture Monday and Tuesday's backup. And then on Wednesday, it is running all 3 days backup, Monday and Tuesday, like that. But if it is a differential backup will always run since the last backup. Okay. It will not check whether the full backup is happened or not. It will just run from the last backup. So Monday, it will check, okay, Monday full backup was done on Sunday. So last backup is considered on Sunday night and Monday it will run. On Tuesday, it will just check the last backup. Okay, this last backup was done. Let me take the today's backup, 24 hours backup, and I'm good. I'm not bothered about to take the last to last backup. Okay, whether I'm not considering my point of backup is full backup. In cumulative, it is considering my backup point is full backup. But here it is considering the last successful backup is my point. And like that, I'm taking the backups. Okay.
What is the extension for this backup? For
No, there's
differential?
yeah, I will come to that. I will come to that. I will come to that. Just a minute, huh? I think someone is calling me. Just a minute. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, Abhishek.
Sorry, someone was
Uh,
called me. So yeah.
yeah, Abhishek, I have a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
In Oracle, right, incremental and the full backup is a different. The full backup doesn't consider about incremental backups, a parent backup.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If L0 and cumulative or incremental, whenever we are starting cumulative backup, it consider last L0 backup.
Right.
And incremental, it consider a last L0 or last L1 backup.
Correct. Same concept. 100%.
Here also is the same, right?
Same concept, no difference. But
Okay.
here, one more thing is, if you are if you are running incremental, it will take incremental n number of times. It is not, it does not have any mind, right? So it
Yeah,
will
yeah.
keep on taking full backup. If you say full backup, it will take the full backup again. If you run the incremental backup, it will take the incremental backup again. That's all. Got it, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
backup, full backup, incremental backup. Okay. These backups are there. Okay. One very important thing that you have to understand is, again, I want to remind you a few things about Postgre is a open source database. Postgre is open source database. So by default, when you install Postgre, by default, when you install the Postgre, from the backup point of view, from the backup point of view, from the backup point of view, you get only 3 utilities by default. pgdump, pgdump all, pg base backup. Okay. And one more utility comes, which is similar to your PG, what is that? Oracle begin backup, right? We have begin backup, right?
Yes.
So in Postgre also you have start backup and in backup procedure. Okay. So in that case, you can do that by default without installing any third-party software. Okay. But in case if you are thinking that you can run these kind of setup where you can run full backup and incremental backup, that is not possible. Now I'll explain you why it is not possible. And also alter and backup. So these are few things which is by default available with your Postgre database. We'll talk about all these things one by one, but let's understand the concept. Otherwise, you will always get unclear about all those things. Okay. So by default, you have only these tools available. Now, if you want to implement any advanced thing, if you want to implement any advanced thing, if you want to implement any advanced backup system for your database, okay, for your database, in that case, you have to bring the functionality using the extension. Are we clear with the extension? What extension is? How extension works? So technically, if you want to add anything, or if you are not happy with the utilities, the 4 utilities which Postgre is providing you by default, either you will install the extension or you have to deploy or you have to depend on the third party utilities. So what is the famous third party utility for the database related backup? The first one and very important one is PG backrest. The second one is PG Burman. Someone directly call it Barman also. We also have Wall G. Okay, like that we have n number of utilities, but the most famous one is these two. Okay, PG Backrest, PG Berman or Berman. So let me show you all these things one by one, and I will explain you what I am trying to teach you here. So the first one, this utility, you have to install it separately on your database.
Abhishek, one quick question. Sorry for
Mhm.
interrupting. So how these backups will work in AWS?
That's yeah, I will explain that also. So
Thank
Barman. So now, very good question, that how these things are going to work on the AWS. Okay. So if first of all, I will talk in the general terms. Let's suppose cloud. Under the cloud, I will consider AWS, Azure, and GCP also. Okay. Here, what I'm trying to tell you is like backup is going to be done by their cloud utilities, mostly snapshots. In case if you have any third party or if you have any requirement, whether your database needs a backup, in that case, you have to install a third party system in your cloud itself. Let's suppose on EC2. On top of the EC2, you have installed PG Backrest, for example. And from here, you have to run the backup. Getting my point? So it's completely subjective of the environment you are in. So currently, if your database is running on as a managed service, you can simply run the snapshot, daily snapshot. But if your database is running as a EC2 or as a local install, in that case, you have to take care of your backup by your own. It will be your baby, right?
Okay, got it. Okay.
Getting my point?
Yeah. Yes.
So again, it will depending on which kind of services you are using. Either you are using managed service or self-owned service. Okay. So now back to the main topic. Back to the main topic. This will come by default in the box when you install the Postgre. This will come by default. But in case if these particular solutions are not fulfilling your purpose, then you have to install this utility from outside to your server. Okay. Now, the main question arises here is what is so different in all these tools? Why I will look for the alternative. Okay. Can we take a break? I'll get some water also and I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll just take I'll just get some water and come back. Let's take a 15-minute break.
Yeah, yes, sir.
In case if you have any question, please note it down. Clock. Let me set the clock. Stop. Okay, so let's be back in 15 minutes. Am I audible? Everyone is back.
Yes.
Okay. So before we start to understand about all these things, okay, let's have a small understanding about what these backup tools can do and cannot do, which is more important. Okay. Why this thing is more important? Because if you are understanding the clear cut differentiation, it will be always easy for you to take the right decision. Okay, that is more important. Okay, because if you are not able to understand these tools properly, you will always get confused whether should I take uh, pg dump all, pg base backup, and pg backrest or Burman. Okay, before we start any of this or anything related to this, the most important concept that we should understand about is logical backup versus physical backup. Okay, logical backup versus physical backup. When I say logical backup is always about the objects which is residing inside the database. Okay, or the logical objects like your index, table, procedure, function, triggers, materialized view. All the objects which cannot be distinguished as a physical object is nothing but logical object. And the physical backup is nothing but the file structure, directory structure, configuration file, and log file, and table space related linking. They are nothing but a physical structure of the database. So we have two tools, logical tools, which can take logical backup and physical backup. Okay. So the first difference that we have to understand is PG dump. Okay. So whenever we are talking about PG dump, sorry, 1 second. Let me correct that. PG dump, PG dump all, PG backrest, okay, and PG base backup. Let's understand the core functionality of each and everything, what can do, what they cannot do. Okay. So the very important thing that you have to understand when we are talking about PG dump, it is always about a single database. And it's a logical backup. PG dump all, whenever we are talking about, it is about single database plus cluster level database backup. Okay. So it is cluster level backup. Very important thing. Okay. PG backrest is always, and this is also logical backup. PG backrest is again cluster level backup, and it is physical backup tool. PG backrest is again cluster level backup, and it is physical backup. Okay. So it mean to say suddenly you decide that you have to take a table level backup, which I think in the new release, if it is possible or not, that I have to check. But 99% it is only used for the physical level of the backup. PG base backup, it is physical level of the backup. PG dump, logical level backup, PG dump, you can take a single database level backup, but also pgdump all, you can take the single level backup. Cluster level backup, when I say cluster level backup, is nothing but you can also cover the global objects, which is specific for the Postgre related schema and all those things. Okay. pgdump backup cannot be taken in any other format. You have to run only in the SQL format, which is nothing but plain text format. pgdump you can take in the SQL format, as well as you can take in a different dump format also. You can take it in the compress format also. Okay, which is possible. Basically, this particular backup pgdump is used for a single user backup and recovery option, where you want to use it for a single database, single user. You can take the backup and you are doing a backup and recovery. pgdump all is most of the time used for multi-user environment and for the multiple databases where you want to capture the global object and everything. Okay. So when you are taking the pgdump, you can restore using pg restore only, or you can run the SQL directly on the database. Okay, but pgdump all only SQL is generated, so you can only source the file to your pSQL and you can recreate the database objects. But pg backrest runs on the two format which we have already discussed: full and incremental differential, incremental cumulative. And you have to run it on the entire cluster level. PG base backup runs only on one mode, which is a full mode. And you can also use compression and different kind of redirection methods. Okay, like that. Is that clear?
Abhishek, so I just want to refresh. The logical means it only tables, you mean?
Only
Indexes
tables.
like that?
Table indexes, only the logical part of the database.
Like triggers function, all will comes under this, right?
Correct. Everything will come under this.
Okay.
So let's suppose you have a requirement where you want to capture the username and privileges also. Okay. So in that case, pgdump will not be the right backup. In that case, you have to use pgdump so that you can cluster level role and user you can capture and you can take the backup. Okay.
What is the security here if it is taking in SQL format? It's human readable, right?
Human readable, yes, security is compromised.
Okay.
So in that case, you have to encrypt your backup, and encryption is possible. Technically, they are possible everywhere, but natively you can't run it directly on the tools. But here in the PG backrest, if I have read correctly, in the new version, you can run the encrypted backup also. PG backrest can run on the encrypted format also.
So for that, additionally, we need to encrypt the encrypted database level, or automatically the tool itself will take care of encryption.
See, that's what I always say, right? Postgre is a very advanced database. Okay. And you can control all the part of it. Let me explain you. And your question is very good. I really like the question because it will give a lot of understanding to others also. Let's suppose this is my database. It is running on server A. Server B is my backup server. Okay. Backup server, it means PG backrest server. And I'm taking remote backup every day. Like that, right? So first level of security, understand like this: communication between A to B is SSLized, that we can configure over the SSL certificate. So this communication is secured. Now, like Oracle, we also have AES, advanced encryption here. So we can encrypt the entire database so that only when we are taking the backup and restoring it, until unless we have valid key, this database cannot be read. So this is level 1, level 2. Level 3, while taking the backup itself, you can use third-party encryption utilities like Lux, and you can encrypt your file system itself. Because I worked in these kind of environments multiple times. I have created all these environments. So I did a lot of research on this. So Lux encryption. You can use Lux encryption directly. Like this. Getting my point?
Disk level encryption.
Disk level encryption you can do. You can run the PG backrest on encryption. There are a lot of encryptions available. So the moment you will read about it, you will get amazed, like how many options you are getting free of cost. But if you are expecting same kind of encryption and other thing in other databases, you might have to pay the licenses.
Okay, for
Getting
this type of encryption, no need to worry about application side if they're using anything
no
logical.
need to worry. If it is a backup related, no need to worry. But if it is a connection related, then definitely your key supposed to be there in the connection string of the application. Otherwise, it will not understand, right? Basically, if your database itself is SSLized, right? So in that case, your application supposed to understand the key supposed to be Postgre client supposed to have your valid certification.
Okay,
Then only
the
you will
certificate
able
needs to
to certificate. Same like SQL Server, same concept.
Okay.
But if it is AES, then it's a different concept. Okay. So I worked, I do a lot of audits and other things. So that's why I understand this concept very well. So you have multiple options. It's up to you, whatever you want to apply. Okay.
Okay.
So now we just did some kind of comparison between all all the tools and everything. And I'm not going to give much importance to pgdump and pgdumpall because my main concept is going to be pg backrest. The reason is okay. Let me
Abhishek,
first. Mhm.
is that the logical backup is version dependency? For example, if I take a 9, Postgres 9 or 10, can I restore a higher version, right? 16, 18?
You are from the Oracle side, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I can understand your pain, but here 99% it works. 99.9% it works.
Higher version to lower version?
Higher
Is that
version, the
what?
compatibility is there.
Okay.
But 99%, 1% chance is there. It might fail. But 99% it works. No
Okay.
issues comes actually. It's not like Oracle. Oracle cries a lot, right? When we do data pump and other thing.
Yeah, yes.
We get a lot of warnings and object error and this error, that error. No, it does not happen here.
Okay.
But
So
you
How
know,
about the physical backup?
Mhm.
Physical backup, right? Backrest and
No, backrest have some compatibility issues. Some compatibility. Lower to higher works, but higher to lower, sometimes I have seen the issues.
okay.
Yeah.
Like Arman.
Like Arman, yes, correct. So you can think like it's Arman only. The moment we will go ahead in the class, right? You will think like it's Arman only.
Correct.
This works 99% the way Arman works. But Arman is very mature utility. This is just maturing now.
Yeah, but
Right.
Orman will not support what is in other versions. It's version compatibility. If 19C backup will work on only 19C.
Yes.
Correct.
But here some of the versions works actually. Even I have used community edition backups in Percona also, it worked. But I am not giving you guarantee on the paper that this will work all the time. But it works.
Okay.
Abhishek, one question. Let's say we have taken any kind of backup like pgdump or whatever. So is it also take that dead tuple and all in this backup?
Dead tuples. Yes, by default, whatever is there in the table, it is a metadata level backup strategy, right?
Okay.
It is just go no, but it will take only used blocks. It will not take unused blocks.
No, I just want to understand. Let's say I need to take a PG dump. So do I need to run that vacuum first and then I should take a
No, no,
backup?
no, no,
This
no,
kind of clarity I want.
no. You don't need to do that. No need to do
Okay.
that. There's no prerequisite. But the backup dump and a backup tool, the way it is designed, it never takes any dead tuple or the free space. It takes only the data blocks or metadata. It leaves the empty metadata information in the database itself. It is only basically whenever a backup tool runs, technically, if you go and see the C++ program or any Go program, it is a serialized or multi-serialized read of a block, right? So a block have this much data, it will simply go and read this much data. It is not bothered about this free space.
Only live
You
data
are
only. Yeah,
only
correct.
live data it will take. It is not bought
Okay.
because technically dead tuples are not at all visible to this process,
Perfect. Okay.
right? So here
Okay.
it is a very straightforward operation. Okay. Okay. So now let's quickly understand about PG backrest because today if I complete all the theoretical thing, tomorrow I can jump into the practical straightforward. Okay. So I have seen this mistake from many people. I have seen this kind of when I am take interview, I ask all these things. I have seen these kind of mistakes, but don't do this mistake. PG backrest works little bit different in production or in the environment. Don't consider that it is just running like straightforward the way in the documentation they say install PG backrest and all. Understand the concept theoretically properly. Okay. The first thing is PG backrest can be installed in two modes, local mode and remote mode. Okay. When I say local mode, it means this is your server. Your database is running in the server. In the same server, you have installed PG backrest. This is local mode. It has its own advantage and disadvantage. But remote mode, it means your database is running on the server A and you have created a dedicated server on the B. And here your PG backrest is running. And it is taking the backup remotely over the network. Okay. So what is the advantage and disadvantage here? I have seen most of the time speed is quite high because you are taking the backup and you are just dumping it in the same server. But resource utilization, CPU and IO is always high. For backup purposes, you have to mount a different database backup volume and take the backup. 99.9% this approach is not a best practice. Because if your database server is gone, your backups are also gone if they are not in the storage volume. Okay. The right and good way of taking backup is this way. Because in this way, even if your database environment is a cluster environment, database environment is master slave kind of environment, both the side of backup is by default captured. Okay. Second thing, in case if anything goes wrong, you can easily restore it from the your remote repository. Okay. Also, you get lot of control over your backups. Now you will ask, what kind of control? Mean to say, after running your backup, even you can run some checksum activities. But here, the moment I will start running the checksum activities on each and every backup file, my resource consumption will go very high. So in the real-time production environment, we never install PG backrest directly on the live server. We always do it remotely. We just install the PG backrest binaries. That's all. But majority of the operation happens remotely. Getting my point?
Abhishek, one thing. So we have PG dump, all PG base backup there. But why we are prioritizing more on backrest, PG backrest?
Sorry, you come again?
No, we have PG dump to PG dump, all PG base backups varieties are there. But why you are focusing more on PG backrest?
Yes, PG backrest, because most of the enterprise level backups are done using PG backrest. Because the moment my database is growing from 500 GB to 1 terabyte, my logical backup becomes a bottleneck. And I can't do parallel option with my logical backups. Restore also becomes a big headache. Okay. So rather than doing logical backup, PG backrest is faster. I can do lot of encryption. I can do lot of parallel operation. I can tune it according to my need. I can connect my backup directly with my checkpointing settings. Whenever checkpoint happens, then only backup will run. So like lot of internal dependency and the properties are there when I run PG backrest, which makes it enterprise grade level of utility. But PG backrest is a very basic logical utility which I just run and take the backup of user and property. That's all. User or objects. That's all. But here I get more control on my backup system. Getting my point?
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So this is the way. Yeah.
Sorry, no, this is recommended, all the corporate companies are using for enterprise.
Yes, so I
level.
will whenever you are defining these kind of backups, think from the database size point of view. Okay, so your backup size is medium and large. Though still PG dump can work, but after a certain time, you might see lot of issues, because here what will happen if my database size is growing from 1 TB, 4 TB, 10 TB. On Sundays, I can run full backup. And Monday to Friday, I can run incremental backup so that I'm covered. But PG backrest does not give you full and incremental option. So every day you are running PG dump, and there is no guarantee that it will complete on the time. It will come again depending on the connections that you are running on your database. If database PG dump is not finding any consistent image, it will wait for that process to commit or come out or something like that. So there is no proper condition and guidelines. But here I can control so many things, right?
Okay. To use PG backrest, we need to install some extensions.
Install it. Yes, we have to install it, configure it. We have to create the stanza, which is nothing but Armin repo, something like that.
Okay.
Getting my point?
Yes, got it.
So this is the one, this is the important thing which we have to run. Second thing, barman I'm not covering. It is little old utility, but my entire focus is going to be on PG backrest. I want to do PG backrest, teach as much as I can, because PG dump and PG dump all is just a utility. A lot of options are self-explanatory in that. Okay. If you run the help, you will get lot of options. But anyhow, I'm not leaving it. I will cover it, but I'm going to spend more time on the this part, your PG backrest. Clear? So theoretically, I have covered everything, but practically, I will cover it tomorrow. Any question?
So, okay, if it is cluster level replication is enabled, example, so this will take backup on replication server, not master server.
Yes, that is the beauty of it. The moment you configure PG backrest and it detects your master and slave and you configure it, by default, it takes the both side of the backup.
Okay.
It's a very nice utility. Okay. And PG backrest is coming on multiple version. Okay. So the important thing that you have to understand is PG backrest is from Percona also, from EDB also, from Citus also. Okay. And PG backrest is from the community edition. Okay. community edition also. Getting my point?
Yeah, I got it. For Postgres is but open source, but there are many third-party utilities
Yes.
plug-in with
So,
like that are not licensed,
yes.
right?
Yes. So it's not like you are running Percona Postgre, and you have just directly downloaded it. I will recommend you to use PG Backrest from Percona only.
Percona, it's a cluster name or what?
No. Percona is a provider who provides the Postgre.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
So in that case, there are chances that you will not do the in future. If something comes, at least you are aware that, okay, this issue is related to something else. It's not related to PG Backrest. But because let's suppose you have using Postgre from community edition and you are taking backup from EDB Backrest, and tomorrow any issue comes, then you might see a lot of issues, right? So you have to be. So comparison is very important. You do the comparison. There are some differences also. So that we have to be very, very sure before we choosing all these things. We have to be very sure with the architecture. Make sense?
So this is the only PG Backrest will support incremental differential and incremental cumulative reassessment, right? So
Yes.
now how
But
about
PG
we are
dump.
not No, but we are not discussing anything about the wall files here, log files. We're discussing the PG backrest. That's not related to
It will
here.
by default take the backup of that.
Okay.
But here in the PG base backup, I have to go and explicitly take the log file backup. So tomorrow when I will configure the PG backrest, you will see I'm going to configure archive command as a PG backrest command. So by default, my PG backrest is a very clever utility. It takes the backup of it. But here it is like I am doing tar of my database files. So I have to take the backup of my log files. And this is logical once.
But how the scheduler works in PG backrest? Okay.
Scheduler, I have to do it. I have to do it.
So, okay, the scheduler will trigger whatever it is, but shell script or whatever it is, as an example. Okay, shell script or that is. So just through shell script, it will trigger what time the full backup will run,
Full
at what
backup
time
run.
the different.
PG backrest, stanza name, and the backup type, full or incremental, like that. But
no need to parameterize for log because it automatically takes.
No, automatically takes. But if you are taking PG base backup, then explicitly you will take the backup plus logs.
In base backup.
This will be manual process. Here it will be automatic.
Okay, got it. I got some idea on this now.
Got it right?
Thank you.
So that's why I'm not spending time on this, because this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's normal one. My main intention is to you to learn this one, because these have lot of loopholes, lot of things to understand. If you understand that, your life will be always easy. If you don't understand, you are always getting confused what to do next, right? So that's the thing. Make sense? Everyone?
One more question quickly. So in the corporate companies, right? So how they are handling, if we have more than 100 servers, how they are handling PG backup test? But definitely we don't have a common server and to take backup. They are installing in each and every server.
See, we are doing like this. Let's suppose this is my production. So production will take all the production related database backup. and non-prod dev will take all the dev related backup. We are not mixing backups.
But that's correct. Okay, I'm talking about production. I have 100 clusters, standby clusters are there. Okay, so where will you configure PG backrest? In each 100 servers, each and every servers, or it's common?
Everywhere my binary will go, I will install the binary, but my main backup server will run from a dedicated server.
So that means each server you are installing PG backrest, if I understood correctly.
Just binary I'm installing to tell them where to send where to connect for the backup.
Like Commvault and all.
Yes, like Commvault and all. I'm small agent kind of thing I'm just installing, but actual backup will be performed from here.
Then how about the license cost? If we are installing each and every server,
free of cost. Community edition is free of cost. Percona and EDB, I think they come by default with the product. It's not like Oracle, you are paying extra licenses.
So the right-hand side database is some script will trigger, but write all the files in local server, correct?
Yes, yes.
For
All
example,
the backup will create here. It will get created here. It will just connecting to this database. Everything will run from here.
That connecting to the database, which means the script, conscript, correct?
No. Connecting means my Postgre, when I will configure my Postgre, I will simply go and define the IP, username, port here on my backup server. That's all.
Okay.
And my backup server, I will say that whenever I'm calling prod, take the backup of this. Whenever I'm calling prod 2, take the backup of this. Whenever I say XYZ, take the backup of XYZ server, which I will define it here, which I will call it as a stanza in PG backrest language.
Okay. Just to initiate the connection, then the backup will trigger in
everything.
The local drive. Okay.
Everything.
We can see the history. We can see the history in the backup server, right?
Yes. Everything like Armin. You can see the backup. You can see the thing.
Okay.
It is very easy. Don't worry. I will explain you each and everything tomorrow. I will because this is one of the important topic. I don't want to skip it unless you people are comfortable. Getting my point?
Sure. Yes, sure. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll see tomorrow. We'll connect tomorrow. Fine.
Yes. Before you drop, Lakshmi has some question, right? She want to screen share, right? Something.
Hey, Lakshmi. Yeah. I think she's there. Yeah, Lakshmi, tell me.
Sorry, Abhishek, I have to leave now.
No problem.
I'll connect with you later.
Yeah. We can connect tomorrow also. No worries.
Yeah,
Okay,
Abhishek. Yeah, last class, right? We saw about upgrade and patching, right? So do we have any practical session for that?
Practical, I can show you, but it's very easy one. We have to simply because when we are which one you're talking about, the only patching, right?
Patching and upgradation.
Upgrade, we have a separate topic. Version upgrade, we have a separate topic. But patching in the sense when you are changing the lower minor version to minor version, we have to simply change the RPMs. That's all. If you want, I will show you. It's not a big thing. It's a very small thing.
Okay.
Simply remove the RPM, install the new RPM, and start the database.
Okay.
And in case if you see any issue, fix it. That's all. It is very easy, Sarvana. Like don't in Oracle it is very painful. Here it is very easy. Patching is very easy.
Okay.
There OPatch revert and all those things are there, but here it's very easy. Upgrade is major version upgrade is little complex. but not that complex like Oracle.
Okay. And one more thing, if possible, right? How if we create customized extensions, right? How we would manage post upgrade or migrations? Do we need to be reinstall those things?
See, 99.9% if you are doing the upgrade and all, Postgre takes care of it automatically. Okay.
Okay.
But in case if you have a binary mismatch with the future version in your version, then if it is a custom, let's suppose custom extension, then you have to check the compatibility and fix
o-
it. So
Okay.
let's suppose I'm using extension, let's suppose pg_stats_statement, for example. This rule goes to everywhere. pg_stats_statement. Let's suppose I'm using it. I'm using the version 16 and my current database version is 16. But I am upgrading my database to 17, DB version to 17. If 16 is having some issues with this, then I have to upgrade it to this also to 17. If it is working fine with here, it's fine.
Yeah, I hope this will work. I'm asking customized extensions, right? If we
Customization,
create.
same rule, same rule, same rule.
Okay, okay.
Same rule. If it is working, it's fine. Otherwise, let's suppose you have created a custom extension with C++, some package, 16 package, or Java 17 package, or Python 18 package, or something like that, or C++ and glibc package, something like 90. It was
Okay.
working fine till 16. But the moment you went to 17, if these people are good with 17, you no need to worry. But if these people are having some issues and finally you understood that 17 is using some kind of packages which is not compatible with the 19, then definitely you have to upgrade your Java to next release, right? Same like Oracle.
Okay. So can we
Same.
use Python to create customized versions? Actually, I checked with that ChatGPT. It mentions only that C program, right?
C program only. Correct, correct. No, I'm
Can we
just
use
giving
it
you
Python?
Python. You can create a wrapper. I have created
Okay.
a wrapper for my own purposes. But wrapper is basically, it is a outer layer of the Postgre. Nothing goes inside.
Okay.
It will connect over the Postgre as a username password, and wrapper program will do whatever I'm planning to do, or whatever I'm supposed to do with using wrapper.
Okay.
So wrapper is nothing but this PG backrest is nothing but a wrapper utility only, right? It connects with Postgre, takes the backup.
Okay.
Getting my point?
Yeah, got it.
So it is completely depending on you. What you're planning to make.
No. I'm checking with that, right? So, if possible, we can create, or in the real time, we doesn't understand, right? Sometimes application team will create that, right? A dev team will create the extensions, maybe customized extensions. As a DBA, we have to manage it, right? After upgrade or uh, migrations, right?
Yes. So whenever you are doing upgrade, you have to check it on POC level itself, whether the
Yeah.
extension is working or not. 99% of the time, when you are calling the extension, if it is erroring out, you will see in the Postgre log.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one, right? A transaction wrap around, right? We got it. Is that?
No, that question, right?
Yeah, yes. You got any
Start with
update?
vacuum freeze.
Okay.
I have not researched about it. Sorry.
Okay.
I
Okay.
will just do it in the next week and I'll let you know.
Yeah, sure.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's all.
I hope you are liking the sessions. No issues. Everything is going good.
Yeah, yes.
So tomorrow it will be only practicals because tomorrow it is going to be a long session. I will show you local install and time permits. Can I show you a remote install directly rather than local install? Because local install will be easy. Just installing and taking the backup. I will create 2 server and I will show you remote installation, a remote backup better.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yes, remote work,
Yeah,
yes.
remote. We can look at the remote only. If we have the document for local, then we will practice our
See,
own
once you
server.
will cover remote, right? Local will be by default easy.
Okay.
Few steps
Correct.
less. That's all.
That's correct. Yeah, that's true.
Because remote having more complexity. I want to give you idea about remote because in the real time companies we use remote better more than this, you know, the local one. Okay. So tomorrow when you are coming for the class, please read about these 4-5 concept and come back. Okay. The
Yeah.
first one is timeline ID. Okay. Crash recovery. Okay. Crash recovery, timeline ID. And you can also read about what was the concept? I completely forget about it. What was that? Okay, I will ping in the WhatsApp. There's one more thing I want to talk about. I will just see my notes and I will paste it there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Timeline ID and crash recovery. Okay. Make sense,
Yeah.
everyone?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
then we'll
got it.
see tomorrow.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
No problem.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
weekend.